What's up, guys? Welcome to the Hot Crypto Mining YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to interview Andrew from MeowCoin. I'm super excited to share it with you guys. Let's get to it. Andrew, what's up, bro? How are you?
Hey, man. It's good to see you again. How you going?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Things are just going in the right direction, and I couldn't be happier, dude. How about you? What's up with you?
Yeah, man. Things are going well out our end in Australia. We're just coming to the end of summer, which is good for all the miners out here because we're about to move into the nice, cooler winter. Everything else is going well, so we're just keeping busy with MeowCoin and building and endeavoring and grinding and all those cool things that you do during, bear market, basically.
Right. So, Andrew, let's get right into it because a lot of people have questions. MeowCoin algo change. Oh, now, you told me earlier prior to recording that it's a 40% more efficient. What made you guys really want to change the algo?
Yeah, look, that's a great question. What we wanted to do when we wanted to change the algo was essentially put our miners first and put their profitability as far up our sort of list of things to do as possible. So the current testnet has shown that we're about 40% less than where we were before, which is fantastic from a power usage point of view. That means that's more dollars in the pocket of the miner. Our reason for changing was a little bit, it was a bit twofold. First was obviously we really wanted to make our algo as cheap for people to use as possible. So that was really important to us. But secondly, we wanted to do a little bit of a rebranding on that. We really loved our roots and we loved where we came from from MeowPOW and things like that. But we felt like it was time for us to kind of put our foot forward and strive to become our own, our own project more and more. Plus, I mean, frankly, MeowPOW as an algo, man, it fits us perfectly. So that's
perfect.
Exactly what we want.
I was telling you earlier that a few people were coming up with some crazy names, and we were talking about this on the live stream. And Paw 256 was like the winner for me, but the second one I would definitely pick is MeowPOW. Now, You're using a different variant of the KPOW algorithm, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So our algorithm is based on something called ProgPower. So basically what that is it's an algorithm that has a lot of levers in the background that you can actually play with to do different things. So what we decided to do was get our dev to play around with those levers to make it a little bit more unique whilst retaining our ASIC resistance. So that's what we've tried to do.
So before you decided to switch to this algorithm, did you guys consider any other algorithm and why? Or was it just, hey, we're going to stick with ProgPoW and we're just going to make a different variant?
Our reason for sticking with ProgPoW is because developmentally, it's kind of an easy transition for us to move forward. There's still going to be some work that we need to do with pools and with exchanges where we need to make sure that they're on the right core wallet so that they can take advantage of the changes and we don't have any issues with the chain itself. So in that sense, yes, that's a big shift. What we wanted to do was minimize how big a shift that was and to reduce how much dev work the teams that we were working with had to complete. So that's why we sort of stayed true to ProgPoW. We did kind of have a look around at a few different algos, but we just felt like they weren't quite what we were trying to do. And ASIC resistance is really important for us. We know that ProgPoW is proven in that end.
Definitely.
The other part of it is our blockchain with the unique asset layer element. We needed to be very careful with how we manipulated things. So
I'm just curious, what other algorithm did you consider when you guys were talking? Do you know off the top of your head? Do you remember?
We had a look at GoStag in the sense of, obviously Casper from Casper's algo is very, very good from a efficiency quantity. We had a look at Ironfish as well, just because I felt like that was a really interesting one. But we settled on those. I think those projects use those algos to kind of further their project in that sense. And we felt like it might not be the wisest thing for us to kind of try and walk down their path. We need to be our own sort of project. And, like that's really no disrespect to those algos. Just, we're different, they're different, and that's okay, right? We're just trying to make sure that we're true to what we're trying to do, which is tokenizing animals on the blockchain. We are making some progress on that, and we felt like MeowPOW made us a more attractive blockchain to mine for miners who have been supporting our network.
Yeah, there's been a consistent level of people that have remained mining MeowCoin. I mined it for a little while, but I recently started turning my stuff off because I'm moving more to different GPUs. Like I bought a bunch of 3090s, and now was like, oh, this is what I'm going to do for density. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell them all. The prices are up. Let me double my money. And I'm actually getting ready to purchase 4090s. But you never know. I'm going to do some vast AI stuff, and I want to make a rig for mining with 4090s as well. So I'm moving that direction. you never know, throw a rig back on it, and it does well. And the yields were really good for a while. So I know a lot of people were sticking on it. They were, I know a few people that said, I have like 2-3 GPUs on it. I'm just going to let it ride. And they were getting good yields on it. So what is the next move now for MeowCoin? You guys have been doing great things. We, keep track of your donations. I know the Discord got hacked not too long ago, but you rebounded off that. Stuff happens. There's nothing you can really do about it. So I'm glad you guys got that fixed. But what's the next step now? We got the algo change coming. What's down the road?
Yeah, look, they're really good questions. Our Discord did get hammered a couple of times. So we had one channel which unfortunately got ripped away from us, which is really unfortunate. It was also connected to my account, which is really annoying. We also got a bit of an attack just recently, but we've taken some different security protocols. So the actual Discord was fine. We just had to, mop up a little bit and clean up. So basically where we are is we've got a really strong little community which is supporting our goals. We want to make good on two things. One, we want to make sure that our white paper is fulfilled, and that is paw print. So we've actually got a dev now who is working towards building that out. It does take time. We've sort of struggled a little bit with retaining, I suppose you'd say, the persistent dev work that we've needed. Sometimes the way that we've approached things would have been a lot faster and a lot quickly done if we'd sort of been able to keep a dev on staff a little bit longer. So that's, I suppose, a hurdle that some projects have. But we've now got someone called Zach, who's really lovely guy, believes in the project, has a cat, loves what we're doing. So he's sort of bought into the whole, which is great. And he's actually the one that's responsible for MeowPOW. So he's very familiar now with our chain. He also did a huge amount of dev work to bring our chain up to speed in terms of getting security protocols and stuff in a place which are a lot more, we're a lot more comfortable where we are from a foundation point of view. So we've actually done a lot of work under the hood. So that's great. The new core wallet is, fully branded us. So what we're actually doing now is we've got like a two-stage roadmap that we're looking at. The first is we're going to do some scaling technology to help us. So we're going to look at Taproot and SegWit. They're the two that we're really interested in. We are looking and talking about some block size changes. So in terms of increasing the block size capacity, something like 32 meg is sort of where we're looking at. We haven't settled on that yet, so we're still in discussions internally around that, but it's something that we're actively engaging in as a team. So they're the kind of, I suppose you'd say, fundamentals that we're working on. In terms of the actual white paper piece, which is what we believe is the critical part of our project, we've actually started to make steps towards. So Rhubarb Media, who's our partner, and he's been helping us quite a lot with, I suppose, professionalizing our project a little bit more with our graphics and with the way that we do things. I'm actually sitting down with him tomorrow to work through the project of what is it going to look like to actually promote paw print, and how does that actually function as a piece of software. So I've got a whole bunch of wireframes that I've done. I'm sitting down with him tomorrow to sort of project manage that and start that work. And now we're going to enter into that phase of going, okay, so there's a solution that we need to build, and that solution addresses a problem that the pet industry does have, both the breeders and the pets themselves. Now, how do we make sure that that's a really accessible solution and actually fits the bill for what we're trying to do?
It's a pleasure to see that you guys haven't stopped developing. You know what I mean? Like you came out, it's almost 2 years now, right? When did we do our first interview? About a year and a half ago, I think.
Yeah. So September, I think it's September 6th is our Genesis block. So we've been going now probably a bit over 18 months. Yeah.
Right. So I remember we did our first interview and I was excited about it. And I'm not a cat guy, I'll be honest, but I liked your project. I met you guys. You guys have been awesome. And it's great to see that you guys have been developing and moving forward. Now, I do have a question. The DAG size for MeowCoin, can 4 gig, how small of a graphics card can you have to mine me out? Is it 8 gigs? What's the DAG size on the chain?
So it's going to be over 4 gigabytes.
Over 4. Okay, so you need at least 4. Okay.
Yep. And the reason behind that, people will probably question, why have you done that?
Right.
And our theory is that one of the key things in crypto is your community. And what builds community is more miners. And what we believe the type of miner that would love and support our project the most are home miners. So we wanted to protect the blockchain, I suppose, reward element, so that home miners are prioritized in that. Now, that doesn't mean that we're against people who have large GPU farms of 2 and 4 gigabyte GPUs. That they're totally fine, right? And they're doing their thing. But we wanted to push the home miner because we know that they're the types of people who will be great advocates and ambassadors for our project.
Definitely, and staying ASIC resistant is really important. So now you're coming on 2 years now as a project. Very soon, time flies, and this is our 3rd interview again, which is awesome. What now will be the next step after this algorithm is implemented? You guys are going to be, getting into tokenizing, like you said, tokenizing animals and helping people that do breeding. Can you touch a little bit more on that, and how is that going to work?
Yep. So one of the things that I historically worked in the pet industry many years ago and dealt a lot with breeders and what they actually require. And they're a very niche and specific market set. Basically, what breeders need to be able to see is the lineage of their animals, because that's part of what they need for their shows. Added to that is all of the awards that these animals win, and the different siblings that they have, and yada yada yada, the attributes of the animal. What they often don't have visibility of is the other pets that exist within the ecosystem of the show circuit, but also they also don't know, when they're getting breeding partners for their animals, what the lineage is like for those animals themselves. It's sometimes very difficult because they use what's called papers. So breeder papers are basically, or pedigree papers are basically a proof of the animal's pedigree and what the actual makeup of that animal is. So what we're actually aiming to do is tokenizing those pedigree papers and helping to create, I suppose, a global network that shows the lineage of these animals, particularly in the show circuit. So that's part one that we're really keen to do. The second part is a little bit more interesting. So animals often are found and taken to a vet, and those microchips that they scan, those microchips are basically a company of themselves. So within my area of New South Wales, there's 7 different microchip regions, essentially. So you need 7 different readers in order to actually work out what animal it is.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So like all that happens, right? These companies compete against each other and they want market share. So what we're going to try and do is subvert that and disrupt that system and actually be a more national system. So you can tag your animal on the blockchain. It basically will scan up either on the collar or on the microchip what the blockchain TX is and the NFT of the animal itself, to either return the animal to its home, or B, to log that animal is now in an animal shelter system. And it could be possible that it's been around in other shelters.
Well, that's amazing, man. And I love seeing projects have real world use case. And a lot of people who watch my channel know that I'm really big on that. I'm not all into just, price discovery and all that other stuff. I want to see projects do things, and it's amazing for what you guys are doing, man. I'm super excited. Andrew, thank you for coming on the show today, man. It's been great. Anything else you want to let anybody know about MeowCoin before we sign off?
No, just meow and keep it up, and we'd love to see you in Discord.
Awesome. Awesome. I will put a link to your Discord in the description. Make sure you guys go join the MeowCoin Discord. Bunch of great guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next video. Hawk out. Take care. Thanks again, Andrew.